Hi guys, how are you all today evening? Good evening. In this verse of Ashtavakra Gita, Raja Janaka tells Ashtavakra, prostrations to myself, because whatever is in the mind and speech in this universe belongs to me alone, and then nothing belongs to me. That means that when Raja Janaka says about prostrations to his self, he wants to say that his mind body complex prostrates in front of his self. Raja Janaka is a little confused as to identify himself as the mind body complex or as the self, the substrata of the universe, the mute witness of all. He says, everything that belongs to mind and speech belongs to me alone. That means that every action in mind and speech done by every living entity in this universe belongs to the self, which is partially true because the self pervades everything and everywhere, including the psyche of every living entity. And then he proceeds to say, and nothing belongs to me. That means that though the self is a mute witness of the actions, mind, and speech of every living entity, it is not a part and parcel of the karma or the destiny of each living entity or the universe. Self is a part of every living entity, yet it is not a part of a living entity. The living entity, each living entity has his or her karma, destiny, willpower, and individuality and independence. According to that, every living entity acts or reacts. The self cannot be held responsible for the actions of every living entity because in one case or in several cases one living entity's action could be targeted at another living entity in the form of offense, defense, revenge, vendetta, sarcasm, haughtiness, prejudice, discrimination, etc. That means that one guy's karma is giving something and the other guy's karma is receiving it. When you be when a living entity is in the receiving end of something from another living entity, we don't know whether he or she is working out some past karma or making new ones. That means that suppose I had hurt you in some past birth and you are giving me back with interest in this birth. That means that I am working out my past karma. On the other hand, if this time you are giving me something and it is the first action that you are making towards me, then I am receiving your action and storing it in my karma so that I can give you back someday or the other, either in this birth or in the next. That is precisely the reason why our scriptures advise against vendetta and revenge and violence, etc. We are all told never say anything hurtful to anyone. Either be positive in your approach or be indifferent. If you are negative, you don't know whether you are repaying a past debt or you are creating a new one. In fact, it is suggested that we work towards working out all our past karmas without adding to new ones. As long as we add to our karma and destiny, we will keep taking birth and suffering deaths in this universe millennium after millennium. That is not the way to live. We all should pray to God that we should have this knowledge of self which burns away all our past destiny and karma and then makes us fit as servants of God who is sent to this world as an assignment by God to be completed as fast as possible and without being tainted by this universe, we live back to God. We should be clean. Our psyche should be clean. We should identify with the self, not with the mind body complex. That is the way to spiritualism, self realization, liberation, deliverance, understanding our true identity as Brahman, and going back to Godhead. That is the gist of this verse. Everything belongs to the self and nothing belongs to the self. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk about this verse. If you sincerely believe that I am talking sense, kindly subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can keep reminding you of my future or past videos. Please feel free to interact with me and share your ideas, thoughts, opinions, doubts, quizzes, etc. with me so that we all join together and help each other in clearing each other's doubts. That is the minuscule service we can do to humanity. Please pardon my error, mistake, blunder, etc. in my appearance, spelling, diction, grammar, etc. because when I am talking to you on serious spiritual and material matters, I tend to ignore these frivolous things. Till we meet in my next video, it is a good evening from TSV Raghavan.